again, sports fans. Jeff Cook reporting along with Tom Sixes. The district playoffs about to get underway here at Warriors Stadium. The steady rain falls, but hope springs eternal for the Warriors as they take on the Northern Lebanon Vikings, and the District 3 playoffs about to get underway. What can you, Tom Sixes joins me here from the Hanover Sun, a graduate of Gettysburg High School. We'll talk about the Warriors in a moment, but give us the lowdown on Northern Lebanon.
Well, Northern Lebanon likes to run the ball. They run the veer option. They have a good quarterback in Matt Nolan. He's ran for over 700 yards, thrown for 500 yards. Their main running backs are Travis Dresch, who has ran for 1,300 yards, and Jason Nolan, who has ran for 600 yards. Northern Lebanon, they're just going to try to pound you all night long. They do not throw the ball much, of course, in a stark contrast to Gettysburg with Evan Lewis, who's thrown for 1,850 yards, along with Justin Jones over 800 yards on the ground, Cody Trail over 400 yards on the ground, and of course you can't forget about Lewis running the ball. He's got about 300 yards on the ground.
The elements might favor the Vikings. Their hope would be that the inclement weather might slow down the Warrior attack.
Of course. I mean, inclement weather usually can, well, not always, but can favor the running team, although the Warriors do have a rushing attack. On defense, Northern Lebanon likes to stack the box. They like to put pressure on the quarterback and try to keep him from getting room to throw the ball.
The Vikings wear the colors of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Warriors are 9-1 in the regular season. Haven't lost since week 3 against Hershey, where they probably learned more from that defeat than they have from any of the wins since then.
Oh, absolutely. They have been a completely different team. I've seen them play all but one game since then, and they have just been so focused and so ready to go.
And this veteran senior offensive line, they've just done a great job all year. We'll talk about them throughout the contest. Tonight's contest brought to you in part by Jeff Schaefer of Remax, and by C.E. Williams & Sons, by Kenny's Market, by Walmart of Gettysburg, and by Coldsmith Roofing and Home Improvements. And last but not least, State Farm agent Mike Ball. We'll talk more about our fine underwriters throughout the contest. And Krauthamel Construction as well. We welcome you to our fleet of sponsors here tonight. Our underwriters have gone the extra mile here for the district playoffs. Paul Plank behind the lens to bring you all the action here on ACTV. We're Adams Community Television, Channel 10 on your Comcast dial. Let's talk a little bit about Evan Lewis and the kind of athlete he is, and how would you try to defend against him? I mean, just some of the things he's done over the course of the season. A school record 47-yard field goal. He's an outstanding punter. We've seen him chase down loose balls and punt it over his head. He can make tackles on special teams. I mean, the guy's just had a tremendous season.
Oh, absolutely outstanding. I mean, he's completing 67% of his passes, which for a high school kid is unheard of. He's thrown for 1,850 yards, like I said, 21 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. I mean, that's just an amazing ratio of TDs to INTs.
And at one point, it was even higher than that. I think the bad weather the teams have been forced to play in over the last few weeks, you expect that. It's November. It's had an effect, but yeah, like 2/3 of his passes are completions, and he really spreads it around. And we saw the big completions last week to DJ Cool, who sometimes is like the Maytag repairman in the offense.
Absolutely.
Logan Schultz, Brian Irvin, Zach Michael, and Evan Lewis, the captains. Their counterparts include Austin Hormel for the Vikings. He's the big tackle out there. Jason Nolan as well. Tom talked about him earlier in our remarks here, as those guys, Schultz and Irvin, have had quite a year defensively, along with DJ Cool at the defensive end.
Absolutely. I mean, Irvin plays middle linebacker, and I swear he times the snap better than anyone.
Yes, when his stunts really caused a lot of havoc against Redland. And, of course, the Warriors won the toss, and they will defer. Coach Sleety, it's a tried and true formula for him. And let's see what kind of plodding, methodical offense the Northern Lebanon Vikings can generate.
I can actually say I can't remember the last time that Coach Leedy has won the toss and took the ball.
I don't think he can remember the last time he did that either.
I mean, it's always, they win the toss, they're kicking off every single time.
And we want to congratulate Coach Leedy for being named to the Adams County Sports Hall of Fame, recently inducted, and a lot of his players got to take part in the festivities. We are back after the anthem and ready to go. Evan Lewis, we talked about him. He will kick it off. Storm Warner left on crutches a week ago, and he's ready to go.
Yeah, Storm's ready to go. From what I understand, he spent all week rehabbing and getting ready to go.
And of course, he suggested the play to cool. And we're underway. That is Terry Clark returning the opening kickoff, dragged down from behind by number 6, Bernard James, back in the lineup. Bernard returned a kickoff for a touchdown against Palmyra. Gets action on special teams. He's a senior transfer from Biglerville, so right away he's getting in the thick of things.
Yep, Clark there fumbled, or not fumbled, but kind of muffed the kickoff, but he was able to pick it up and get about 12 yards on the return, so it looks like they'll be starting on about the 20, 21-yard line.
As the steady rains continue to fall, Matt Nolan at the controls, running the veer. They go to the fullback, straight ahead for about 4 yards. Jason Nolan plows forward. That's what we expect. We're going to see that play a lot.
Yeah, they'll run it more times than not, so we're probably going to be calling his name and Nolan the quarterback and Dresch's name a lot tonight.
Well, and we're going to be talking a lot about our fine sponsors as well. C.E. Williams & Sons, Jeff Schaefer of Remax, Kenny's Market, Goldsmith Roofing and Home Improvements, State Farm agent Mike Ball, and Crowdhammer Construction. 2nd and about 6. You're right, it is hard to see. That time it was the quarterback keeper. That's the second phase of the veer. And the defense was waiting for Matt Nolan. I guess these guys are related.
I think they're brothers.
Crowdhammer Construction, residential home construction and remodeling in the Adams County area since 1972. That's 35 years. We build the old-fashioned way, one house at a time. Call Crowdhammer Construction, 334-8882. Special thanks to Bob and Crowdhammer and all the good folks at Crowdhammer Construction. 3rd down play coming up. Picking up the 1st down. That was a deep approach to the line of scrimmage, but able to turn the corner was Matt Nolan on a keeper, and the Vikings pick up the 1st down.
Yeah, that was a very nice run there by Nolan. Got the 1st down.
So the Vikings pick it up. Matt Nolan, the quarterback. This time it's Travis Dresch for no gain. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Brian Irvin is a part of that great linebacking core. I can't think of a more solid tandem inside than Justin Jones and Brian Irvin.
They're an outstanding duo inside. I mean, they can drop in coverage, they can rush the passer, they can stop the run. They can do just about anything that you would ask of a linebacker to do.
And interesting, we're going to talk about the rest of that defense. Sean Manahan's at the corner. Dwayne Allen gets the start at the other corner. They pitch it to Dresch. Oh, finished off hard. Zach Michael comes up hard from the secondary and lays a lick on Dresch after a 5-yard gain.
Michael's just a header. That kid just comes up from the safety position and just clobbers people.
Yeah, we saw that against Lower Dauphin. Was that where he made that stop for no gain and came flying up to the line of scrimmage? Really set the tone defensively. And he starts about 11, 12 yards deep, so not shy of contact.
No, definitely not.
Comes from all those backyard sessions, tackle football in the backyard. pass, incomplete. Zach Michael got a mid on it, couldn't reel it in.
Pass intended for Dresch there, a little high.
So, yeah, a punting situation coming up for the Vikings. What's a good neighbor? It's someone nearby who helps make your life a little easier. It's State Farm agent Mike Ball. He takes the time to understand your insurance and financial needs, so whether you're preparing for your child's college education or planning for retirement, get the kind of help you'd expect from a good neighbor. Visit State Farm agent Mike Ball at 1099 Baltimore Pike in Gettysburg. Short punt taken by Manahan at about the 32. Cuts outside, turns the corner, into Viking territory, finally knocked out at about the 37-yard line of the Vikings. Good return, Sean Manahan.
Big return there by Manahan, a 31-yard return. That's going to put the Warriors in great position here for their first drive of the game.
Getting back to State Farm agent Mike Ball. Give him a call, 334-4908. He's on the ball. He's got all your bases covered. Home, health, auto, life. State Farm agent Mike Ball. 1st and 10 Warriors with excellent field position. Compliments to Sean Manahan. They send a slot to the near side. Will Matthews, the right tackle.
Timeout, Northern Lebanon.
Well, I don't know. There was nothing surprising in the formation. Cody Trail starts at fullback. Justin Jones is the tailback. Storm Werner, Zach Michael, the wide receivers. DJ Cool is the tight end. Coy Schaefer, the center. Brian Irvin and Tony Spangler are the guards. And Logan Schultz and
Will
Matthews, I just started introducing him earlier, are the tackles. So, yeah, all seniors. And they have really come together, that offensive line.
Only one junior in the starting lineup for Gettysburg. Justin Jones is tailback.
Yeah. Well, Tyler White is a linebacker.
I'm talking about on the offensive side.
Yeah. Jones off the right side for about 7 yards. Justin Jones always seems to be running downhill.
Yes, he is, and he's not afraid of contact. He's a big kid. He's 6'1", 215, but he's not a big, slow plotter. He can move. He's got moves.
And what a receiver he is out of the backfield.
Absolutely.
I mean, he's a defensive coordinator's nightmare. When you put him in the slot, it's scary because he can block for Cody Trail or he can take a go route to the end zone as he did against, who was that, Redland? Yeah.
Yep.
They go to Cody Trail this time, and half the Vikings were keying on Justin Jones. That's why Trail's had a lot of room down the stretch of the second half of the season.
Yeah. Getting back to Jones, he's got 20 touchdowns this year, 14 on the ground, 6 receiving. I mean, that's pretty well balanced.
And a high number of completions too. And you've seen him make some very athletic grabs. Screen passes that maybe aren't right on the money, and Evan Lewis always throws a lot of touch on it, but now they pitch it to Jones. Good penetration, but Jones just keeps those Pistons driving all the way to the 24-yard line, and it looks like he's picked up the first down, and he has. Justin Jones off the right side. Looked like somebody hit him about 2 yards deep behind the line of scrimmage, and Jones just shook it off.
He just fought it off. I mean, he's a tough kid.
1st and 10 Warriors. Here, first possession. A great return by Manahan. Got him in a good spot. Play action. Lewis rolls to his left. Oh, he does that so well. It's a Storm Werner on the little out pattern. Werner keeping it alive with some yak all the way down to the 16-yard line. Yards after the catch. He looks like that wheel is pretty solid.
Yeah, he looked good on that. Down here to the 11-yard line, now a 13-yard pickup by Warner. Rain steadily coming down right now.
1st and 10 Warriors after the completion. Lewis to Werner. Rolls to his left and throws across his body very well. Now he's going to come to the near side, rolling right, and finding Storm Werner for the touchdown. 6-0 Warriors here in quarter number 1. First quarter brought to you in part by Goldsmith Roofing and Home Improvements, 334-0331. Got a tough project around the house? Don't have the time, the talent, or the tools? Goldsmith Roofing and Home Improvements have all of the above. Serving the Adams County area for more than 30 years. Call Goldsmith Roofing for all of your home improvement needs. Special thanks to Mike Goldsmith and the gang at Goldsmith Roofing and Home Improvements. So Lewis, after the touchdown toss, will use the receiver as the holder, and the kick is up and good.
A little different here from normally brought in extra stands for the game, 4 extra stands across the field for the visitors, and a couple of stands down the end zone for the Gettysburg band, so there's more seating on the Gettysburg side of the field. So, and pretty full here tonight.
So halfway through quarter number 1, 6:27 to play in the first. Looking to buy or sell real estate, or maybe you need some real estate appraised? Call Jeff Schaefer of RE/MAX, 338-0881. Nobody sells more real estate worldwide than RE/MAX, and nobody sells more real estate in Adams County than RE/MAX of Gettysburg. Special thanks to Jeff Schaefer. Outstanding agent, outstanding results. So the Warriors will kick it back to Northern Lebanon. They lead 7-0 here, 6:27 to go in the quarter. This is they expanded to 16 teams, what, 2 years ago, Tom?
Yeah, 2006. Last year was the first year of that.
And that's a 4-game ordeal to get to the district championship.
Yeah, you've got to win.
That's another almost half a season.
Yep.
I mean, that's a lot to ask these kids to stay with the program. You know, the weather turns bad. You have daylight savings. It comes to an end, and it's dark, and you're still running around, sloshing in the cold mud. Gotta love it, though. Big hole this time. Still on his feet, and finally dragged down by, we talked about his special team prowess, Evan Lewis. But not before a huge gain by Terry Clark.
Yeah,
he found a seam that time.
That was a nice return there by Clark. Big tackle by Lewis. That might have saved the touchdown there.
Well, he had 2 touchdown-saving tackles. I can't even remember which game it was, but he's quite an athlete. He could certainly start on this defense, but it's a wise move of Coach Levy to spare him from that risk of injury.
I've talked to him before. He loves hitting people.
Yeah.
He loves to hit.
I'm sure he'd prefer to be out there. Oh, a little mix-up, but one brother hands it to the other, and Jason Nolan able to cling to the pigskin and fall forward for about 5.
And Northern Lebanon in good field position here. They gave up a score to Gettysburg. Now they're looking to come back down and knot things up.
A long kick return by Terry Clark has the Vikings in business, 2nd and 5. Yep, that'll cost them. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Little movement there on both sides.
I think they're going to call that against the Vikings. Looked like a flinch by the left guard, perhaps. It is procedure. Served the Adams County area for more than 60 years. It's C.E. Williams & Sons. C.E. Williams & Sons, 334-5511. For all your paving and excavating needs. C.E. Williams & Sons, they truly are pavers and excavators extraordinary. Special thanks to Jim Williams and all the good folks at C.E. Williams & Sons. 2nd and 10 after the penalty. Nolan. Hands to Nolan. No, that wasn't Nolan.
That was Dresch.
Dresch got the call. He's the smaller of the 2 backs.
They kind of switch them up at tailback and fullback. They don't always have one playing tailback or fullback. They just kind of flip them back and forth. That looked like Nolan was almost like reaching to hand that one off. I mean, that's kind of dangerous right there when you're putting the ball out there like that.
They send a slot to each side. Shotgun formation now for Nolan. 5-step Step drop. Justin Jones chases him out of the pocket, and he's going to go down. Cody Trail stayed at home, finished him off with a little help from JJ.
Yeah, that'll force a punt there. Good job by the Gettysburg defense, even though they were put in a position where they had to come on the field with the ball starting on their side of the field. Good stand by the Warriors. Going to force a punt here.
So the Warriors dodge a bullet. That long return doesn't hurt them, at least not for the time being. The punt's going to roll dead. Warriors wisely stay away from it at about the 18.
Took a little bit of a Gettysburg roll, actually. Once it hit, it rolled forward instead of backwards.
Family owned and operated since 1958. It's Kenny's Market. Special thanks to PK and Sherry Hoover and all the good folks at Kenny's Market Stores to serve you in Tawnytown, Littlestown, Spring Grove, and the brand spanking new beautiful store in Gettysburg. Fresh food, friendly folks at Kenny's Market. Don't forget your preferred customer card, your passport to a world of savings. 1st and 10, Warriors, backs in the eye. Lewis hands to Jones. Off the left side, tripped up. Fell forward for a couple where Chris Scotto finished him off.
Yeah, nice run there by Jones. Got a couple. It's really coming down now. I mean, it was raining hard, but it's raining even harder right now. We're having fun up here tonight, aren't we?
We're happy, yeah. We're having fun, all right. It's good we bundled up for the occasion. Planned ahead. Zach Michael in the slot to the near side. Lewis looking. Now he's going to tuck it up and run. Gets outside. First down to the 30-yard line. Evan Lewis in a late hit out of bounds. An add-on flag, but I think it's just going to be a late hit and should give the Warriors an additional 15 yards.
Yeah, that's bad. I mean, that cost him. I mean, he already got the first down. He got 10 yards in the run. Then you're going to get the 15-yard penalty tacked onto that. Gettysburg's going to move up to about the 45-yard line now.
Well, if you're Northern Lebanon, you know how important Evan Lewis is to the team. So you see him out of the pocket, and you do tend to salivate a little bit.
Yeah.
That's where you just have to pull back and realize he's out of bounds. You know, he ran out of bounds. You can't hit him. It's just asking for trouble, and sure enough, 15 yards assessed against the Vikings. So now they split the receivers. Michael at the top of your screen. Werner to the near side. The give. Cody Trail finds running room up 9 tough yards for Cody Trail to the 46 of the Vikings.
He just runs so tough. He's not that fast, but the kid is so strong and so tough.
Man. Yeah, and like both he and Jones, because of their strength, able to fall forward for that extra 2 yards at the end of the run, and they really add up over the course of a game and over the course of a season.
They don't have that burner, but they've got some power backs that can really move.
And as we talked about, the line just continue to do an excellent job. This time, Cody Trail is racked up at the line of scrimmage. Scotto there to stuff the play.
Good penetration there by Chris Scotto. He just, Trail went nowhere. I mean, they met and he went backwards on that play.
You're watching the high school football game of the week on Adams Community Television. Jeff Cook along with Tom Sixes and Paul Plank. At ACTV, we're proud to bring you the game of the week. And don't forget our lineup of live programming. Sports Chat every Monday. Tom and I will be here to take your calls and talk the burning issues of the day. And then on Tuesday night, it's race night. Wednesday night, the incomparable John Show. Warriors, play action. Oh, Lewis falls down, and he is going to end up losing about 8 yards.
Yeah, Evan I guess he tried to reverse his field there and just lost his footing. And
well, in college or the pros, you can get back up again, but in high school, you're down.
In college, you're down too.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
You're right.
That's okay. Just the first.
You're
But
right.
yeah, I mean, that looked like a promising play too. But
Well, we talked about rolling to your left and throwing across your body, and then you're trying to do it in the mud. Not easy.
no.
So now he'll try to punt. You always have to be wary of the fake. He lets it fly high and deep, takes a Warrior bounce. 2, he's going to roll dead at about the 9. So that's Warrior football right there. Pin him down and let your defense keep him there.
Good punt by Lewis, a 44-yard punt. This will put them deep in their own territory, Vikings. Yeah.
So Dwayne Allen stepping in there. Trevon Johnson out of the lineup the last couple of weeks. Kind of that safety linebacker hybrid position. Tyler White and Dwayne Allen both playing on the outside. Big hole off the right side for Dresch. Seven-yard pickup for Dresch, so it'll be 2nd and 3, 7-0 Warriors in case you just joined us.
Yep, late in the first quarter.
Storm Warner, an 11-yard touchdown reception from Evan Lewis. Lewis's point was good, and that's where we stand. 2nd and 3. Oh, it looked like the Warriors jumped that time.
Logan Schultz moved. I don't know if that's who the call is going to be on, but he definitely moved.
Yeah. Sometimes I like the terminology in the pros. Unabated to the quarterback.
Offsides.
Yeah. So he kind of entered that neutral zone. I'm not sure if he contacted anyone. Sometimes they let you jump back. But
if they snapped it while he was across the line, then
yeah.
Anytime if you're a quarterback, you see that, you want to snap it quick.
Or the center, yeah, just to draw that penalty.
Yeah. That'll give Northern Lebanon a first down at the Gettysburg, or at their own 21-yard line, I should say.
1st and 10, Vikings. Ooh. Nolan gets outside and picks up the first down yardage and more, and Zach Michael has the presence of mind not to waffle the quarterback out of bounds. Still 1st and 10, Vikings at their own 41.
Nice run there, a 19-yard gain for Nolan on that play.
Time winding down here in the first quarter, 7-0 Warriors. A playoff game in Warrior Stadium. We'll talk about that in the controversy and in the second quarter. As Dresch tries to get outside, and he's wrestled down from behind. That was Justin Jones tripping him up.
Nice job by Jones of pulling him down on that play.
He's just so strong. I mean, it wasn't a classic form tackle, but, you know, the Jack Lamberts of the game and the people that are just have a desire to make tackles, they find a way to get the player down.
Absolutely.
And that'll do it for the first quarter. 7-0 Warriors when we return. Really no wind to speak of as we start quarter number 2. The rains continue to fall. 3 receiver sets to the bottom of your screen. 1st and 10, Northern Lebanon. Oh, Dresch goes nowhere. Tyler White in on the play along with Tony Spangler. And
Dresch didn't have the ball. White had, or the quarterback kept the ball, and he got about 30 yards creamed. On the play. Yeah, he got creamed for his troubles, but he didn't tackle everybody. Ball.
I guess that's a good defensive ploy. You just tackle everybody who might have the ball, and you know, hope that they do. That one of them ends up with a football.
Yeah, Nolan kept that and went around the left end and got about 2 or 3 yards on the play.
Well, they're keen on their assignment. Somebody said, I got Dresch, and they followed through on it. They'll try to get it right. Nolan, incomplete.
That was about 4 feet too high. Dwayne Allen caught it on the sideline.
Out of bounds. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Kenny's Market, family owned and operated since 1958. Stores to serve you in Tawnytown, Spring Grove, Littlestown, and Gettysburg. You got to visit the flagship store in Gettysburg. It's my favorite place to shop. Kenny's Market, fresh food, friendly folks. As the Northern Lebanon Vikings punt it away, and Michael's going to let it squirt out of bounds. Kenny's Market. Don't forget your preferred customer card. It's your passport to a world of savings. They serve their local communities with excellence. We thank you, Sherry and PK Hoover.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw on that, Brian Irvin got through and he almost blocked that punt. He got great pressure on the punter there, made a dive for it, but just missed the block.
1st and 10 Warriors at their own 17. Storm Warner already has a touchdown catch. He comes to the near side. Justin Jones on a little misdirection. He started out on the left and went in and took a deep handoff from Evan Lewis and picked up about 8 yards.
Yep, nice run there by Jones. Puts Gettysburg in 2nd and short.
Serving the Adams County area for more than 60 years at C.E. Williams & Sons, 334-5511. For all your paving and excavating needs, C.E. Williams & Sons. We thank you, Jim Williams. At C.E. Williams & Sons, they truly are pavers and excavators extraordinaire. Lewis airs it out. Intended for Warner, and he makes the grab over the shoulder. Finally dragged down by Terry Clark. A huge gain for the Warriors.
Pick up a 54 there to Storm Warner. That was a beautiful play. He ran a post flag route. He was going on the post, saw the defender turn his hips a little bit, cut back on the flag route. Pass by Lewis, perfectly laid in there for Warner, and a big pickup for the Warriors.
Excellent protection, too, by the line. So Warner gets a breather over on the sideline. Manahan in there as they hand it to Cody Trail on a 1st down run. Got about 3 or 4 off the left side.
Warriors in business here, looking to up their lead.
Looking to buy or sell real estate, or maybe you need some real estate appraised. Who are you going to call? Jeff Schaefer of RE/MAX, 338-0881. That number again, 338-0881. Nobody sells more real estate worldwide than RE/MAX, and nobody sells more real estate in Adams County than RE/MAX of Gettysburg. Jeff Schaefer, outstanding agent, outstanding results. We thank you. Lewis to throw. Now he's going to still stay with the pass. He's got a man wide open. Justin Jones in the corner of the end zone, just right in front of the pylon and the official. You only need 1 foot in high school and college, 2 in the pros.
That
right,
was,
Tom?
Yes, absolutely. That was a beautiful play. Travis Dresch was covering Jones, but then when it looked like Lewis was going to run, he came up to play to run. Jones, of course, kept going towards the corner of the end zone. No one there. Absolutely wide open. Great play by Lewis and Jones.
Yeah, I mean, that's the nightmare of Evan Lewis. It really looked like he was going to run, and then he saw the protection kind of reformulate, pulled it back out, and found a wide open Justin Jones for the score. He'll try to make it 14-0, and no.
Offsides on Northern Lebanon.
Well, they'll still kick it here.
Oh, absolutely.
No reason to go for 2.
No.
Can you tack that onto the kickoff? I guess not.
No.
They just declined it.
They just declined it because they didn't want the 1.5 yards closer.
Well, we saw that playoff game over at New Oxford a couple years ago where there's no penalty for the defense in initiating a contact prior to the snap. It's irrelevant here as Lewis kicks it through. 14-0 Warriors with 9:19 to play in the half. here on the high school football game of the week. Serving the Adams County area for more than 30 years, it's Goldsmith Roofing and Home Improvements. 334-0331. You got that tough-to-do project on your list, and maybe you don't have the talent, the time, the tools, the inclination. Well, Goldsmith Roofing and Home Improvements, they're the ones to call. 334-0331 for all of your home improvement needs. Special thanks to all the good people at Goldsmith Roofing and Home Improvements. 14-0 Warriors.
To me, I think Northern Lebanon's got to get something going here. I mean, they're a running team. They're down 2 scores. They've got to get something going. If they fall behind by 3 scores, they're probably going to be forced to throw the ball. And they don't want to have to throw the ball. So
they're a duck out of water, so to speak.
Yeah, and there's plenty of water tonight.
Yeah, and if you're Coach Leedy, the game plan is proceeding to near perfection. Amazing how Lewis can be so accurate. Now he's 4 of 4 for 96 yards and 2 scores on a rainy night. We saw that against Redland too. The weather doesn't seem to bother him in the least.
Yeah, same with the Middletown game. The torrential downpour here. I mean, he was throwing the ball anyway. It didn't matter. He was 5 for 5 that night.
So here comes the Viking offense trying to get something going against the stalwart Warrior D. Justin Horan out there now at the linebacker position.
Northern Lebanon started to get at their own 35. Kickoff went out of bounds there.
So Justin Jones not in there right now in the defense. And, oh yeah, he is. My bad. But Horan is in there.
Horan does a nice job. A lot of his tackles
come
on. No, Irvin's there. He's in at outside linebacker.
So they're just going to like a bigger package. I guess Tyler White's in there too. Yeah. But no Dwayne Allen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Horan does a nice job, though. Most of his tackles have come on special teams, but he's done a nice job for the Warriors this year.
Right?
Yes, a junior, so he'll be back next year.
Yeah, he'll be one of the key cogs on that line. Jason Nolan gets some positive yardage. Residential home construction and remodeling in the Adams County area since 1972. It's Crowdhamel Construction. At Crowdhamel Construction, they build the old-fashioned way, one house at a time. 334-8882. Special thanks to Marianne and Bob Crowdhamel and Crowdhamel Construction. This time, Nolan. Oh.
Wow.
Say hello to Zach Michael, another tough hit coming up from the secondary.
Michael once again comes up and lays the wood.
14-0 Gettysburg.
And that kid really hits, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. He's 6'2". I mean, I've known him all his life, so yeah, this is a side of him. I guess, who knew he's going to be this kind of beast.
He's got a chance to go somewhere, play college football.
Well, I already wants to go to Penn State. I don't know. So we'll see. Incomplete. Intended for Dresch out of the backfield. Tyler White on the coverage.
It was a nice idea. It was a good look. Decently thrown ball, but it was overthrown.
And you're right. Now, Northern Lebanon out of character, behind by 2 touchdowns, having to throw the ball, not being able to do it effectively. And the Warriors are looking good right now. 14-0. Line of scrimmage with 31, and now Storm Werner on the punt return. Nice open field tackle by Northern Lebanon's Abraham Escobar, but not before Werner gives the Warriors field position near midfield.
Yeah, that was a great return by Warner. 26-yard punt return.
What's a good neighbor? It's someone nearby who helps make your life a little easier. It's State Farm agent Mike Ball. He takes the time to understand your insurance and financial needs, so whether you're preparing for your child's college education or planning for retirement, get the kind of help you'd expect from a good neighbor, visit State Farm agent Mike Ball at 1099 Baltimore Pike in Gettysburg, or call today, 334-4908. Lewis, Doc, and luckily that was not picked off. That was a pretty dangerous throw as he tried to get it to Justin Jones.
Yeah, Jones was looking for a pass interference call there, but the ball was knocked away prior to him getting hit. I mean, it's not like he wasn't hit before it got there. Someone got a hand on it before it got to him. So once it's tipped, I mean, you can hit the receiver.
Slot to the far side. I formation behind Evan Lewis. Lewis, complete. Zach Michael with the grab. Finally tripped up at about the 34-yard line. Michael was lined up as the tight end that time and ran a curl in the middle, found open space, and Lewis got it to him.
And he picked up 16 on the play.
Mike Ball, he's on the ball. He's got all your bases covered. Home health, auto, and life. State Farm agent Mike Ball. First and 10 Warriors. Trying to expand their 14-0 lead. Lewis to throw on first down. Over the head of Manahan and nearly picked off. That was Nate Olm on the coverage.
Yeah, that was slightly overthrown there. Manahan not too tall, about 5'10", and a little bit out of his reach on that one.
Great play calling by the Warriors, though. They are not that predictable. They are not afraid to throw on first down.
No, they mix it up very well.
Justin Jones on the delay. After the fake to Cody Trails, second man through Jones for about a couple. Driven back by the Vikings. Yeah, here we are at Warrior Stadium. Suddenly, the stadium is an acceptable venue for the playoffs. 3 years ago, the Warriors had to host at New Oxford and ended up losing in overtime. What was it, triple overtime to Mechanicsburg?
33-27.
And no one's complaining. Everyone's delighted that the Warriors are able to be here in this great natural amphitheater. Aired out and picked off by the Vikings. That's Terry Clark with another big play for his team. Manahan was deep and Shower looked like maybe two receivers in the same general area, which is a no-no.
Yeah. Well, that was on third down. I mean, if they'd have failed to get that, they're probably punting. That's as good as a punt as you're going to get. I mean, you're pinning them at the 2-yard line, so if ever there is a time for an interception, that would be the time.
So Horan stays in the package with Dwayne Allen out of the lineup. Stunning linebackers, and Matt Nolan kept it himself for a couple. Got about 5.
Trying to get away here from their own goal line.
Might be wise just to keep it.
Yeah, I could see him just running 2 more times and then punting it away.
A lot of underclassmen on this Northern Lebanon team.
Yeah, they do have quite a few juniors and sophomores.
Matt Nolan is a junior, the quarterback. 2nd and 5. They give it to the fullback, Jason Nolan. And Tony Spangler was there. And you ask, how come the stadium is suddenly okay? And I guess the best answer that I've heard was, well, the composition of the body that decides this in the PIAA now says that, yeah, you add a couple of extra stands, and it is acceptable.
Yep. They also added a concession stand behind the visitor stands. So
yeah, we still have the restroom issue.
Yeah.
So there will be a new Warrior Stadium here shortly. mean, I know the committees, that all the people that are working so hard to build a new stadium, they don't want the sentiment to be out there. We'll see. They don't need a new stadium. They're able to host the playoffs, but I think the issues are more complex than that, Tom.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they don't have running water in the concession stand. The bathrooms, I mean, they've got the porta-johns. If you don't want to use those, you have to walk up to the middle school, which is a long walk. I mean, the players, they dress here at the middle school, but they have to bus from the high school to the middle school for the games. I mean,
the Vikings, they just try to plow out some space behind their quarterback, Matt Nolan, able to wedge out a few. Good job by his offensive lineman, Andrew Lessing and Bob Cunningham.
it is nice, though, to have them playing here tonight, absolutely. And, of course, if they win tonight, they will host the winner of Solanco, West York.
Northern Lebanon plays in the Lancaster-Lebanon 3 League. AAA school. Michael. Oh.
That was dangerous.
Yeah, that was dangerous. You either got to stay away, probably just stay away on that one. Zach Michael lucky to fall on it.
Yeah, it looked like he went to try to run with it before he caught it, and then he just wasn't able to haul it in. Fortunately for the Warriors, he fell on it. They're in good field position, though, about the 39-yard line.
With plenty of time to try to get on the board one more time. 3:49 to go here in the half. 1st and 10 Warriors. Shara is in the slot to the near side. The delay, the draw to Justin Jones. Huge hole off the right side. And finally brought down by Terry Clark after about a 7-yard pickup. So the Warriors on the move. I want to thank our underwriters for going the extra yard here in the playoffs. Jeff Schaefer of Remax, C.E. Williams & Sons, Kenny's Market, Colt Smith Roofing and Home Improvements, State Farm agent Mike Ball, and Crowdhamel Construction. We thank you, one and all. Manahan in the slot. 2nd and about 3. Lewis to the airwaves. He's got a man. Manahan with a nice fingertip grab for first down yardage to about the 17. Sean Manahan, he's got a lot of tools. And I know Evan Lewis tries to spread it around a lot. And, you know, you only got so many plays to run out there. DJ Cool hasn't even been thrown to yet today. But, you know, that's a nice predicament to have, to try to keep all those wideouts happy. Manahan, you know, he's made some big catches, as is Tyler White, who's out to the slot to the near time now.
Absolutely.
Jones on the draw. That's a nice call. You spread out the defense with all your wideouts, and you punish inside against Northern Lebanon. 1st and 10 Warriors.
Absolutely. I mean, Lewis has 6 completions to 4 different receivers.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're on defense, I mean, nobody was even covering DJ Cool last week. Probably throughout the whole game. They only threw to him in the second half, and 2 catches for 88 yards, something ridiculous like that.
But you can't double any of them.
No.
You can't double any of Gettysburg's receivers.
But you can't leave them uncovered either. Ooh.
He caught that.
Threaded the needle.
Manahan caught that.
Manahan, what a good concentration, because the defender shot right in front of him, and that just shows you how much touch Evan Lewis has on his ball. But hey, we talked about Manahan, and he's come up big in this drive.
That could have been really bad, but that could have been an interception going the other way for 6 points pretty easily.
No, that's what the defender, he gambled and he lost.
Yeah, he just missed on that one.
Josh Poorman in the lineup now as they go to the power I formation behind Justin Jones. 3 backs in the formation. Did he get it in?
I believe he did.
It's a 1-yard touchdown run, and Justin Jones into the end zone as we get ready for the point after. 20-0 Warriors. Things going Sam Leedy's way.
Yes, things very well going Gettysburg's way. And if you're Northern Lebanon, they don't throw it well, but Gettysburg gets the ball to start the second half, so they almost have to try to throw the ball down the field and get a score.
And if you're the Warriors, Coach Leedy just licking his chops, thinking, Justin Jones left, Justin Jones right, 3-touchdown lead, and just kind of work that clock and grind it out and don't get anybody hurt.
Absolutely.
21-0 Warriors. Still in the first half. If you're Northern Lebanon, you look at that clock, you say 1:41. You're down 3 touchdowns. You got to try to do something.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
you don't want the passing game to blow up in your face. But you can't sit on this and play conservatively. If you're down by 3 touchdowns, you got to try to make something happen.
Yeah, they've got 2 timeouts left, so if they are able to get the ball up the field, they will be able to stop the clock. But if they throw 3 straight incompletions, Gettysburg still has 2 timeouts, and they can run a 2-minute drill.
Oh, no question.
So it's dicey for Northern Lebanon. You almost have to try to score because you're down 3 scores. But if they throw 3 straight passes and they're all incomplete and they have to punt, Gettysburg just might score again and put this game away.
21-0 Warriors. A couple of touchdown strikes by Lewis, and Lewis
7 for 10 on the night for 143 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception.
Not bad, not bad. So he's 70% tonight, 67 on the season. That's going to go up. High, deep kick. He hasn't had as many touchbacks lately. I guess your leg gets tired over the course of the season.
He's been doing a lot of kicking, especially extra points this year.
Yeah, that's
the
true.
way they score.
Good special teams play by Poorman. As we watch it pour, man.
Yeah, it sure is raining. It definitely hasn't let up at all. If anything, it's raining harder now than it was at the beginning of the game.
I need some windshield wipers on my glasses. And John Holt's in there now on the defensive line. Coach Leedy he can go about 14, 15 deep on his defense and try to keep everybody fresh. Nice gain off the right side by Dresch that time. Near first down yardage, looks like he might have it.
I believe he got 11 on the play. But see, that's fine, running the ball. Yeah, you're picking up yards, but they don't have the time to put together a long drive on the ground unless they can bust off a long run.
I guess that's what they're hoping to do. Split backs now behind Matt Nolan. Dresch again. Yeah, you're right. I mean, what does this prove? You can get 3 yards. I mean, Woody Hayes might like it, but if you're trying to win the football game, you got to air it out a little here. But I guess they just aren't able to do it.
That's what happens when you're a running team and you get behind. You get out of your element, and it's tough.
Well, if you were a one-dimensional team, you're lucky to get in the playoffs and very unlikely to go very far if you don't have that offensive balance.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just like a team that passes all the time. The thing with them is a team that passes all the time, you get a lead, you have trouble running the clock down because you can't run the ball to kill the clock.
Yeah.
So you have to just keep throwing the ball.
Well, Dresch short of first down yardage, and the Vikings use a TO. 21-0 Gettysburg. Here on the game of the week, week 11. Warriors trying to go 10-1. And they're what, number 4 in the state this week?
Number 4 in the state, the Warriors.
Highest ever ranking.
No, they were 3rd.
Oh, okay.
After they beat Manheim Central.
All right, so before Hershey, they were 3rd. All right, I may have made a mistake in one of my earlier stories.
And they got knocked out of the top 10, stayed out of the top 10 until beating Redland in week 9. Then it reappeared.
Yeah, and knocked Redland out of the top 10, at least in the Patriot poll.
Reappeared at number 10 in week 9, beat Redland, moved up to number 5, then moved up to number 4 this week. With Berwick's lost. Berwick was ranked number 2.
3rd and short for the Vikings in the final minute of play here in the first half. Paul Plank providing the cam work. I'm Jeff Cook along with Tom Sixes on vocals. First down yardage. Again, though, what's your point here?
They'll get them a first down, but there's 30 seconds to go in the half, and they've got to go 50 yards.
Jack Beidler, the head coach, and that's
never going to work. You're never going to run it that far. You're never going to run 50 yards unless you bust off a huge play.
Well, now they go to the gun with a 3 wide receiver set. Nolan. Incomplete, and nearly intercepted the tip drill in evidence there as Tyler White and Justin Jones on the coverage.
Yep.
So Holtz continues to play for Cody Trail at the left defensive end. Manahan and Werner, the cornerback. So yeah, Werner, what a great story. He ends up last week in crutches. Now he's going both ways. Already has a touchdown grab and 3 catches, 78 yards. That's up for grabs. Nothing doing.
That pass looked like it was a good pass to Clark. Either he couldn't haul it in or it got knocked away from him, but that looked like a pretty good pass there.
Double coverage by Michael and Manahan. M&M on the coverage. At the Gettysburg 49, it sounds like decent field position, but the Vikings battling the clock, trying to get something going, something they can build on if they can get into the end zone here. Matt Nolan has time, throws it down the field and incomplete. Intended for Derek Pfeiffer, and Tyler White was solid in his coverage.
Fourth and 10 here.
Yeah, so, well, at least they tried to throw the ball.
Looks like they're going to go for it here.
Yes, yeah.
And that's going to be the half.
So that'll do it. Dresch, as the Indians, or rather the Vikings, concede and they trail at the half, 21-0 here on ACTV High School Football Game of the Week. The Warriors come out of the locker room feeling pretty good about the way the first half went. They lead Northern Lebanon 21-0, and they'll get the football to start the third quarter.
Well, 24 minutes away for the Warriors from a berth in the quarterfinal round of the AAA tournament here. And of course, they'll play the winner of West York Solanco. West York trailing in that game at home. Late in the second quarter, 7-3.
Well, here's the rhetorical question. I don't know the answer. Have the Warriors ever won a district championship in football?
No.
So maybe their best chance to do it with this team right here.
They've played in it twice, in 93 and 94. 93 they lost to Manheim Central 37-7. 94 they lost to Cumberland Valley 21-13.
And we were there at Hershey Stadium, ACTV gang, covering Brandon Streeter and company back in 93.
Yeah, about 3 weeks ago, they just decided they won all against everybody else.
Playoff football at Warriors Stadium, and if they win, they'll definitely be home next week. And then I guess it depends what happens from there. They come in as the number 4 seed, Northern Lebanon number 13. So far, unlucky for the Vikings.
Yeah, as long as Gettysburg's the higher seed, they will play at home, except for in a district title game, which is played at Hershey Park Stadium.
On the artificial turf.
Yeah.
And they played on artificial turf at Cedar Cliff at West Shore Stadium, they found that quite to their liking.
Yeah, they like the fast track up there.
Another rhetorical question. Do you just wear, you have your conventional footwear on those surfaces, or do they have special shoes?
I'm not sure, honestly.
But the traction did not seem to be a problem.
Yeah. Tell you one thing, it felt good to go down to the press box there at halftime, warm up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's not exactly Hawaii. They have the windows open, but at least you're dry, a chance to take the chill off the bones.
Warm up a little bit, drink a little hot chocolate, and try to just get ready for the second half here.
Enjoy the festivities.
All that is going through motion.
Well, the stands on the far side not filled to capacity. So they have plenty of seating. Well, the weather obviously a factor holding down the crowd here tonight.
Yeah, a decent crowd over there, though. I mean, it's over a 70-mile drive from up at northern Lebanon down here to Gettysburg. So, I mean, that's a good little hike to come down here.
On a rainy Friday night, Werner, or rather Jones, picks it up at about the 9 and falls out to about the 20. First and 10 Warriors. And, well, you know, here you got to be thinking Justin Jones right, Justin Jones left, Justin Jones up the middle.
Yeah, little Cody Trail in there as well.
Yeah, you got to mix it up. But, you know, you definitely are in control of this game, and the last thing you want to do is turn it over and give the Vikings some hope.
Absolutely. I mean, a touchdown drive here for Gettysburg probably puts this game away. I mean, up 3 scores, if they can get up 4 scores, I would say it's probably over.
21-0. Inside handoff on the misdirection to Jones. Well, Jones can go in the slot. They can split backs, run out of the eye. I mean, the Warriors have always been known for multiple formations, which makes them difficult to scout and to defend.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you're the other team, you better figure out where number 7 is and observe him closely.
Yeah, you see all the smoke, you saw all the steam coming out of the huddle there, the Warriors huddle. Obviously.
Shades of Otis Sistrom and from the planet Mars. You don't know what I'm talking about, do you?
Absolutely not.
Lewis rolling left, and he's going to be sacked. Taken down at about the 14-yard line. Big defensive tackle Joshua Hostetter all over him. And Lewis loses yardage big time.
Loses 10 on the play there.
What's a good neighbor? It's someone nearby who helps make your life a little easier. It's State Farm agent Mike Ball. He takes the time to understand your insurance and financial needs. So whether you're preparing for your child's college education or planning for retirement, get the kind of help you'd expect from a good neighbor. Visit State Farm agent Mike Ball at 1099 Baltimore Pike in Gettysburg, 334-4908. He's got all your bases covered. Home, health, auto, life. State Farm agent Mike Ball. Shotgun formation now. Second and about 20. Delayed quarterback draw. Lewis, shifty, cuts back to the far side, looking for a blocker. He's got it. One man to beat and hemmed up and finally corralled. But a huge gain for Evan Lewis.
What a run. What a run. That looked like a design run. I don't think he ever looked to throw that. I mean, you're looking at a third down and long. He takes the snap and just goes up the middle, cuts left, cuts back to the right, gains 44 yards and a first down for Gettysburg.
Yeah, I agree. I think that was the quarterback draw. And he takes his time and just looks where the open space is and just uses his feet. Great speed and elusivity by Evan Lewis.
He is the true definition of a dual threat quarterback because he could beat you with his arm, he could beat you with his legs.
Throws it deep. Oh, incomplete. Looked like the defender had the best chance at it. Good coverage by Nate Ohm. Trying to get it to Werner.
Yeah, a little underthrown there. Ohm knocked it up in the air, though, and it almost came down to Warner on the play.
Special thanks to Crowd-Hamel Construction, residential home construction and remodeling in the Adams County area since 1972. At Crowd-Hamel Construction, they build the old-fashioned way, one house at a time. Give them a call, 334-8882. Crowd Album Construction, we thank you. Lewis setting up a screen to the near side. He's got Cody Trail. Great kick out block by Logan Schultz. And Trail finally tackled from behind by Terry Clark, who's been a standout. One of the few standouts maybe for Northern Lebanon. A nice play, a great call again.
That screen pass, the Warriors love that screen pass. Usually it goes to Jones, this time it goes to Trail. But nonetheless, that seems like one of the staples of the Warrior offense this year, that nice little screen pass.
The linemen have got to sell it. You got to slow them up just a tad, then you let them pour in there, and then you get out and look to block somebody. Nice kick out block. Little misdirection run to Jones.
Look at him
Swivels his
fighting.
way. Yeah, he's just very determined. Inside the 20 to about the 18.
Man, he was fighting on that play.
Goldsmith Roofing and Home Improvements, 334-0331. They've been serving the Adams County area for more than 30 years. Call Goldsmith Roofing for all of your home improvement needs. Special thanks to Goldsmith Roofing and Home Improvements, 334-0331. Warriors on the move. Werner, here's Justin Jones in the slot. To the top of your screen. Oh man, he's going to be a blocker for Trail. Trail able to get outside and close to first down yardage. Tripped up out there by Ohm.
Yeah, down to the 15-yard line. It's going to probably be about third down in less than a yard. See where they spot it.
You know what I liked about that formation? When you put Jones out there in the slot, and it looked like they had a big safety maybe coming up to shade him. But that out to Justin Jones is wide open. We saw that against Mechanicsburg, I think, too. Or maybe it was Redland where he ran the out. I think it was Redland. He ran an out pattern, and he was wide open and turned it into a touchdown scamper. Lewis on the keeper. To the 10, to the pylon, to the end zone. Touchdown, Evan Lewis. It's all Warriors tonight. 27-0.
Little bootleg keeper there by Lewis. That was a designed run. You could tell he never at all looked to pass on that play.
And it sets up the bootleg pass, though, as well. You know, it's like I said, he's a corner safety's nightmare because once he gets outside the tackles, you never know what he's going to do.
You always want to get him out on the edges where he can either run it or pass it. Because he's so dangerous.
And I guess the defensive strategy would be to have your ends get out there and not let him turn the corner, have your ends seal him to the inside.
You want to try to keep him in the pocket.
Yeah.
Because that eliminates the threat of the run, but he can throw it. It's not like he has to be on the run to throw the ball. I mean, and his offensive line, they give him all kinds of protection.
And his foot still not too tired to kick through that extra point. 28-0 Warriors. The third quarter brought to you by Kenny's Market, family owned and operated since 1958. Stores to serve you in Spring Grove, Tawnytown, Littlestown, and the flagship store in Gettysburg. It's Kenny's Market, fresh food, friendly folks. Their commitment is to serve their communities with excellence, and they do. We thank you, PK and Sherry Hoover. Don't forget your preferred customer card, your passport to a world of savings. 28-0 Warriors, and 7:27 to go in the third. And I guess if you're Jack Beidler, you're saying, well, you know what, at least we're getting some playoff experience.
Yeah, he does have a young team this year. We talked about that in the first half, how they don't have many seniors on their team. So,
but still unable to throw it effectively and down by 4 scores. It's going to be difficult.
Absolutely.
Lewis. I don't think the ball carries as well in the cold weather either.
No, I don't think it does does either.
Good return by Robert Boyer, still on his feet, and
Lewis.
oh, Coach Leedy doesn't like that, and that's the second game where Lewis has 2 tackles on special teams, saving potential touchdowns. He does like to hit people. I think
does,
you're right.
Absolutely.
And he says, just let me play a little defense, Coach.
He's not like your normal kicker that just tries to like dive at the lower legs to take their legs out from under him. No, he wants to hit somebody.
But still, I mean, if you're Coach Leedy and the staff, you think,
Your heart jumps up in your throat whenever you see him going to make a hit.
right, you say, hey, there are 10 other guys that are supposed to make this tackle. What are you guys doing?
Yeah, I'm sure Coach Leedy's not going to be happy with this.
Nolan completes his first pass of the night to Dresch for first down yardage.
After 6 straight incompletions, his first completion of the night.
To the Warrior 36. So the big return by Boyer has the Vikings in business.
I believe this is the best field position they've had all night.
Oh, it is their deepest penetration.
Yeah, they're at the 36 of Gettysburg.
They go to Dresch off the right side, got a couple. Looking to buy or sell real estate, or maybe you need some real estate appraised? Call Jeff Schaefer of Remax, 338-0881. He's an outstanding agent, outstanding results. Nobody sells more real estate worldwide than Remax, and nobody sells more real estate here in Adams County than Remax of Gettysburg. So Jeff Schaefer of Remax, we thank you for your outstanding support all season long. Second down play. Oh, the Warriors offside. Schultz, or it wasn't Schultz, that was Travis Hughes, or rather John Holtz.
It's you, crybaby! It's you,
Offsides,
crybaby!
Warriors.
Yeah, the Warriors jumped. Good discipline by the Vikings not to flinch. So it's going to give them second and about a yard and a half.
Second and 2, something like that. So at about the 30 or 28-yard line, I believe. So Northern Lebanon mounting a threat here.
Yeah, there's Travis Hughes at the left defensive tackle. So the Warriors shuffling some people around in there. It looks like they're going to pick it up, tackled by Irvin and Spangler, but Matt Nolan able to wedge out the necessary yardage. First and 10, Northern Lebanon. Serving the Adams County area for more than 60 years, it's C.E. Williams & Sons, 334-5511. They are pavers and excavators extraordinaire. Call C.E. Williams & Sons for all your paving and excavating needs. Jim Williams and Company, we thank you. No? Did he get it? Yeah, he got it.
By about half the football, or a little more.
First and 10, Vikings.
At the Gettysburg 26-yard line.
You're watching the high school football game of the week. I'm Jeff Cook along with Tom Sixes, Paul Plank, working the camera. The first round of the District 3 AAA playoffs, and right now all Warriors leading 28-0.
Update on that game, West York now ahead 10-7 of Solanco in the third quarter.
Jason Nolan off the left side has some running room. Other local teams in action tonight. Fairfield, the dawning challenge of Steel High.
Yeah,
Littlestown visits Trinity. And Delone, that should be an interesting game. Delone and Columbia, the 6th seed against the 3.
Yeah, haven't gotten a score from there yet. It's Trinity 17, Littlestown nothing at halftime. And Steel High up on Fairfield 53-0 at halftime.
Nolan straight ahead. Justin Jones trying to reel him in. And Matt Nolan churned out a couple of yards. Tough go of it. We're in the third quarter. Warriors with a 28-0 lead, but Northern Lebanon with their deepest incursion of the night.
By far their best drive of the night, now facing third down and less than half a yard.
The steady rain continues to fall. Temperature in the lower 40s.
Yeah, it's pretty cold here tonight.
Oh, look at Dresch straight ahead for the score. 16-yard touchdown run for Travis Dresch, and the Vikings are on the board.
Nice play there by Northern Lebanon. Yeah, now they're not getting shut out. I mean, they may not come all the way back, but they can at least say, hey, we didn't get shut out.
Ohm the holder.
Brady Kimball to kick the extra point. Kimball, I should say. That's good.
28-7 our score. Don't forget the live programming, Sports Chat every Monday night. We have our 100th show coming up, so that's bound to be special. And then Tuesday night, race night. Wednesday night, the John Show. Kind of like the halcyon days of television with the live programming. Kind of a unique feature of ACTV. Where live truly is live. There's no delay involved.
And we don't have an applause sign or any of that stuff.
No. Well, we'll see who shows up for our 100th show. We've described it as the unmasking, where all of our callers over the many years, the many months, are welcome to come in and join us in the studio. So hopefully we'll get some response. If not, you and I we know we'll have a good time.
Yeah, we've done it enough. We know how it goes.
We know the drill. There is no script.
Absolutely not.
And there's always plenty to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
So a glimmer of hope for the Vikings, but they need to try to force some turnovers. Late in the third quarter and trailing by 3 touchdowns. Short hop, and now picked up by Justin Jones, and he's dumped unceremoniously.
Ooh, he took a hit there.
Graham Musselwhite put a muscle lock on Jones, and he landed
He
pretty
ain't getting
hard.
up.
He landed hard.
Yeah, he's down. He's laying face down.
When you say tripped up, I think he's, at a minimum, got the wind knocked out of him. Hopefully he's okay.
Looked like he took a shot in the lower leg.
Dr. Wasserman goes out to take a look along with Coach Leedy.
Trainer out there as well.
28-7, Gettysburg.
Well, he walked off the field under his own power, so that's a good sign. Hopefully he's able to come back in the game.
He hit the ground hard.
Yeah, Zach Shera taking his spot at the tailback position.
Lewis to throw. He's got a man, Stormwarner, complete, tries to tiptoe down the sideline. And Stormwarner with a big night tonight.
Yep, another 19 yards. That puts him at 97 yards on the night on 4 catches. Lewis up to 178 through the air.
In a steady downpour, does not deter him in the slightest.
Absolutely.
Now what, 10 out of 13?
9 out of 13. 10 out of 13. My fault. I believe. No, 9 out of
13. Not bad.
No, not bad at all.
Lewis is going to keep it and fire down the field. He's got Zach Michael on a corner route. Clark finally making the stop, but great chemistry that Lewis and Zach Michael have along with the other receivers. And it's a 1st and 10. That puts him over 200 yards, and he's over the 2,000 mark for the year.
Puts him up to 210, over the 2,000 mark, and he also now has broken his own single season area record for passing yards in a season.
With still the Warriors hope some games to go. If they can hang on here, they're guaranteed to get at least one more.
Yep.
In the district quarterfinals, Jones hit hard.
Well, it's a good sign to see him back out on the field.
Yeah.
That's for sure. But, I mean, you got to figure if Gettysburg makes a run, Lewis is going to set these area records to some astronomical level.
I mean, he's over 2,000 yards. He's got 23 touchdowns.
Well, I heard this, and I assume it's true, about the quarterback rating. And supposedly, I think Paul Plank told me, read in the Patriot, that he's on schedule to set a record for the highest quarterback ranking in the South Central Pennsylvania area.
That record was previously, or is still held by Marcus Stone from Bishop McDevitt. He went to North Carolina State on a quarterback scholarship. He plays tight end for them now. But he had a quarterback rating his senior year of 205.8. Lewis came into this game currently at 222.9. So, I mean, as long as he doesn't have a real bummer of a game, he should be able to keep that record.
And as sure-handed as these receivers often are, there have been some times when they've dropped a few. So, I mean, it's a team effort, obviously, to complete the high percentage. But Evan Lewis is very seldom off the mark as he was that last throw to Werner when he threw behind him. Tries to air it out again, and good double coverage. Two receivers in the same area there. Might have been a mix-up in the route.
Yeah, it was good coverage, though. They were on.
Werner got a hand on the ball. It looks like Lewis is going to try a field goal.
Comes the tee. Looks like he's going to try. It'll be a 33-yard field goal. No wind, so that shouldn't affect it. But of course, he is kicking in the rain.
He has a school record 47-yarder. Does he also hold the school record for most field goals in a season?
He's got 4. I'm not sure what the school record is in field goals. But he's 4 for 6 on field goals. So.
And as we mentioned, a high of 47 yards, the school record. Good snap, holds down, the kick is long. The
Plenty
kick
of leg.
is good.
Plenty of leg on that one.
And he's just so nice and deliberate, just strokes it right down the middle of the pipes. And the Warriors extend their lead 31-7. Evan Lewis, not a cocky kid either. I mean, he's very well-spoken. Yeah. Nice to be around. Obviously, his teammates feel the same way about him.
Yeah, he's been setting these records, and you talk to him, and you ask him about the records, and he's told me a couple times he's not there to set records. They have more important goals than for him to set records, and that says something.
Yeah, and their goals all still firmly in sight. Here with a commanding lead late in the third quarter.
Just got a score from the DeLone game. They're up 20-14 in the third quarter over Columbia.
Great first season for Steve Wiles.
Absolutely, went 7-3 in the regular season.
Yeah, had Southwestern on the ropes and let the Mustangs wriggle off the hook for a 17-10 victory in Week 10.
Is that a Denny Green reference there? Had him, but let him off the hook?
Did he say that a few times? You talking the Coors Light commercial?
Yes, sir.
That was a great set of commercials.
Yeah.
Robert Boyer can't replicate his long run back that time, and the Vikings will have it at about their own 33.
Yeah. Gettysburg up 31-7 here. 2.5 minutes left in the third quarter. They should be able to put this one in cruise control now.
First round of the district playoffs. It's been all Warriors here tonight. And we talked about the Hershey game. Maybe we can make reference to that.
It was definitely an eye-opener.
Well, I mean, you're talking about, like Coach Leedy said, 15, 16, 17-year-old kids. Good game by Nolan, Jason Nolan that time. And then you pick up the newspaper, and not only do you see your name in the rankings, but you see them third in the state, and you say, wow, we're great.
We're that good?
Yeah. And you kind of get away from your work ethic, and you show up a little nonchalant, and you lose your intensity and your focus, and the next thing you know, you're giving up 42 points and losing in overtime to Hershey. Good option play that time by Matt Nolan, and he picks up the first down.
And it tells you how uncharacteristic that is of the team, because in the other 9 games they played prior to tonight, they allowed 76 points.
I mean, in 10 games, they allowed 118 points.
And that game against Hershey, hats off to the Trojans. I mean, they made big plays on 3rd and 4th down to convert, keep drives alive. And
absolutely.
And Wagner, a pretty impressive quarterback.
I heard he was coming back tonight. He missed the last 2 weeks with mono. Hershey struggled. They were able to beat Mechanicsburg 13-0 in week 9. Lost last week to Redland 13-3, but they're rolling over Cocalico tonight. They're up 28-7 in the 3rd quarter. Winner of that game plays the winner of the Redland-Manheim Central game. Redland up in that game 16-6 in the 3rd quarter. So
Hershey still, I mean, this Keystone team's got some pretty talented football teams. What, 4 of them qualified for the district?
4 of them, yes. Lower Dauphin plays tomorrow at Harrisburg. That's going to be a daunting task.
Great fake by Nolan. He just kept it in the breadbasket. I think I'm finally on to them. I mean, you can see why they've had a 7-3 season to this point. Very deceptive, the veer, and it's all in the execution by the quarterback, and Matt Nolan does a pretty nice job.
They're still not going away from the run. I guess they really cannot throw the ball at all.
And like we said earlier, tough to win at this level when you can't throw the ball at all.
And especially when you fall behind like they are. I mean, they're down 3 scores. They're down 24 points. 3 scores, 3 2-point conversions. That's going to be extremely hard in a quarter to score that many points.
Look at the box. I mean, the Warriors are just loading up. Dresch, though, finds a seam and wrestled down from behind by Michael and Manahan, but not before. It looks like he has another 1st down.
Gettysburg's daring them to throw the ball, and they still won't throw it.
Yeah, I mean, they're loading up the box, single coverage on the wideouts because they don't really think that they can throw to them. So, the theory of that is you're trying to spread the field, but if you really can't put, I've talked about this before. I remember Biggerville had a formation, and you're talking like 10 or 12 years ago, where they had twins to either side, and they hardly ever threw to them, and they would cover those 2 receivers with 1 back on each side, which means, you have 9 in the box. It's pretty tough to run that way. I didn't understand it. I mean, if you're a coach, part of as the 3rd quarter is history, but if you're a coach, you have to adapt your scheme to your personnel.
Oh, absolutely.
Go ahead.
Well, Gettysburg now 12 minutes away from advancing to the quarterfinals.
4th quarter action coming up here on AC TV. We start the 4th quarter. Warriors all over Northern Lebanon, 31-7 as Coach Leedy rallies his troops. Warriors are pretty healthy. That line, we've talked about them, and I don't think any of them missed a game. So, you have to be a little lucky to go deep into the playoffs as far as the injury bug.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the big spring game, Tony Spangler got hurt early in the 2nd quarter and sat out the rest of that game. But other than that, I can't remember any of the linemen missing time.
Yeah, and Werner went out last week, and here he is back and playing very well. Fourth quarter. 2nd and 12 rather for the Vikings. They send a couple of flankers out to the near side. They go to Nolan, and he batters his way inside the 20 to about the 13.
That was a nice run there by Jason Nolan.
17 yards for the big fella. 1st and 10. Vikings. Tonight's game brought to you by Coltsmith Roofing and Home Improvements, 3340331. You got a tough to-do project on your list, don't have the time, the talent, the tools, or the wherewithal? Call Coltsmith Roofing and Home Improvements. They've been serving the Adams County area for over 30 years. Call Coltsmith Roofing for all of your home improvement needs, 3340331. Short gain off the right side that time for the Vikings.
Yeah, Dresch got about 3 on the play, so Looks like they're on about the 11-yard line. Time ticking down here, about 10 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter.
And, you don't want to say the word defense has been porous here, but obviously you lose a little bit of your mental edge when you have the big lead.
Yeah, Coach Leady's not going to be happy about that, though. I mean, he's going to have something to say tomorrow when they watch the films.
Yeah, that long run by Dresch. And here goes Nolan to the 3. Another good run by Nolan.
He's ripped off a couple of good runs here back-to-back.
9 yards for the big fella, and it's going to be 1st and goal. Family owned and operated since 1958. Stores to serve you in Spring Grove, Tawnytown, Littlestown, and Gettysburg. It's Kenny's Market. Fresh food, friendly folks at Kenny's. Don't forget your preferred customer card at your passport to a world of savings. At Kenny's Market, they serve their local communities with excellence. Special thanks to PK and Sherry Hoover and all the good folks at Kenny's Market. Whoa! Great surge that time by Coy Schaefer. He comes in the goal line defense package.
He timed that snap perfectly. Just got right in there on Nolan. He had no chance at all on that play.
So Schaefer comes in there on the goal line package and has an immediate impact. And Will Matthews comes in there as well to try to stuff the run. It's the beef team. Nolan. He's not going to get in. Cody Trail was there with a tough defense. It's kind of like when you're beating a team and you try to sub and all of a sudden the other team gets something going and you say, starters back in. Yeah, you want to keep them out of the end zone here.
Exactly. 3rd down and goal here, about the 4-yard line.
Special thanks to C.E. Williams & Sons, 334-5511, serving the Adams County area for more than 60 years. Call C.E. Williams for all your paving and excavating needs. We thank you, Jim Williams. A timeout on the field. C.E. Williams & Sons, pavers and excavators extraordinaire. So Coach Byler wants to talk about the play selection. And Northern Lebanon trying to get in for a 2nd touchdown. And if you're looking to buy or sell real estate, or maybe you need some real estate appraised, who are you going to call? Jeff Schaefer of RE/MAX, 338-0881. He's an outstanding agent, outstanding results. Nobody sells more real estate worldwide than RE/MAX, and nobody sells more real estate in Adams County than Jeff Schaefer and RE/MAX. We really have to thank our sponsors for going that extra mile here in the playoffs. They're as excited about the Warriors as all of us are. Hoping they have a successful run here to the state playoffs if they can win districts.
That'd be nice. No Gettysburg team's ever done that.
Nolan to throw. He lobs it up, complete to Dresch for the score.
Nice little pop pass there.
Yeah, and a lot of touch on it. He saw how open Dresch was on the play action. Dresch snuck out of the backfield, got open, and all he had to do was gather it in. So 31-13 our score.
They're setting up to kick the extra point, which I don't understand. To me, I would think they would go for 2
and
try to make it 16, get it within 2 scores, because a field goal, the extra point here makes it a 17-point game, which is still a three-score game.
Good point. I mean, you're supposed to have somebody over there with a chart. I guess that's in the pros. They can't afford that chart at the high school level.
Didn't matter. Logan Schultz gets up and blocks the extra point.
It's all moot. 31-13, Warriors on top. What's a good neighbor? It's someone nearby who helps make your life a little easier. It's State Farm agent Mike Ball. He takes the time to understand your insurance and financial needs. So whether you're preparing for your child's college education or planning for retirement, get the kind of help you'd expect from a good neighbor. Visit State Farm agent Mike Ball at 1099 Baltimore Pike in Gettysburg, or call him today, 334-4908. Mike Ball, he's on the ball. Got all your bases covered. Home, health, auto, life. Call State Farm agent Mike Ball, 4908.
Gettysburg has some linemen out there. I figured they would have an all-hands team out there on this because you gotta expect there to an onside kick here.
Oh yeah, you should have the hands team out there.
Yeah, they have a couple of linemen still out there.
You knew you were something when you get put on the hands team. But you're right, they have a lot of linemen out there. I can't believe that's their hands team. But we'll see. You know, there could be white flags going off on the far sideline here. Like you said, they insist on continuing to run the ball and just sort of they're running out the clock all on their own. Oh, look at that. Oh, that ball's up for grabs. Oh, man, David Wolf finally fell on it.
Wow, that could have been dangerous.
Yeah, that was very dangerous indeed. And then maybe Coach Lee, when he looks at the films, will say, hey, you know what? I think we need a hands team. Because that was not the hands team out there. It looked like one of the linemen tried to grab it on the short hop. And then the Vikings had a chance at it.
Yeah.
Good heads-up play by Wolf to fall on it.
That looked like their normal kickoff return team out there.
Yeah, maybe he thought they thought they would kick it deep. 1st and 10 Warriors trying to milk the clock, put the finishing touches on a first-round victory. 31-13 Gettysburg as steady rain continues to fall as it has from the outset. Lewis to the left side. Design running play, picks up the first down and more. Clark finally knocks him out of bounds after about a 17-yard pickup for Evan Lewis.
Good run there by Evan.
Special thanks to Crowdhamel Construction, residential home construction and remodeling in the Adams County area since 1972. That's 35 years of excellence. At Crowdhamel Construction, they build the old-fashioned way, one house at a time. Call Crowdhamel Construction, 334-8882. Special thanks to Mary Ann and Bob Crowdhamel and all the good people at Crowdhamel Construction. Shara now flanked to the near side. Justin Jones in motion. They pitch it to Trail. Nice job by Northern Lebanon to string it out, and a tackle made by Curry Beamisdorfer. It's a good Lebanon County name. The home of Lebanon bologna and a lot of pretzels. Good stuff. Second down coming up for the Warriors. So Shara and Manahan, the wide receivers, they haven't had to throw to DJ Cool today.
Nope.
You know, after the big game, there's that same play they ran the other way. This time, not much going for Justin Jones.
But see, the thing with Cool is he doesn't just catch passes. He's part of the blocking up front. That clears the road for the running backs. So, I mean, he deserves some credit on that front as well, not just catching passes.
He's one of the offensive line. You know, you talk about the offensive line, and you say, and tight end DJ Cool. He's not an afterthought by any means. And a great defensive end, leads the Warriors in sacks with, 9.5, something like that.
But like some tight ends are just run blocking tight ends. If you forget about him in the pass game, he'll burn you there too.
Yeah, we saw that last week. Lewis tries to stretch out. That's dangerous.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
Put the ball on the ground. It looked like they whistled it up. So it's going to be a fourth down situation for the Warriors.
Yeah, that's pretty dangerous there.
Well, and obviously they're going to go for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I wonder if Evan Lewis holds the career record for most field goals too.
I don't know how many.
We'll try to figure this out maybe before next week if we can. Somebody's got to know that kind of stuff. Maybe Tom Ford.
He probably does. He seems to know all the other school records.
Fourth down and about a yard. I formation behind Evan Lewis. Now he's going to call a timeout. Didn't like what he saw over there. So he's going to go talk about it.
He might have been trying to draw Northern Lebanon off sides there, too. And then let the play clock run down and had to call timeout.
So it'll be fourth down and a yard.
Gettysburg's up 18. You'd think it's over. If it's not, a first down here will allow them to take another 2 minutes off the clock at least, and that would definitely put it away.
A very methodical approach by the Warriors, mixing up the run and the pass from the bell and doing it successfully, even in these elements.
Just got a score from the Columbia-Delone game. Columbia scored, made it 20-20 in the fourth quarter, late in the fourth quarter, so that game could be headed to overtime.
Columbia, perennial power. Delone getting back to the dance after a several-year absence. 4th and short. I'd go to Justin Jones. They pitch it to him. They string out the play nicely, but look at him lower the shoulders and gets the first down.
Yeah, that's good. That'll be the first down. Also, just got a score. Fairfield was able to score up at Steel High. It's 53-8 now.
Well, they've really had a tough season. 3 wins, which is a school record. The program's only, 5 years old.
Yep.
So Stu McIntosh has those kids working hard, trying to get better. But they really had a lot of injuries. They're too much for them to expect to overcome against a team like Steel High.
Absolutely. And they haven't had a running back. Like all year, they've been switching in the run game all year. They haven't been able to get the same running back consistently week after week.
Lewis, 3-step drop. He's got a man. Manahan for about 9. Manahan, his 3rd catch. I mean, that's pretty unique at the high school level to have 3 receivers that are as good as Werner, Michael, and Manahan.
Yeah. And then, of course, you got Jones out of the backfield, Trail out of the backfield.
DJ
Cool at the tight end. Tyler White could catch him at receiver. I mean, he's got 7 legitimate threats to throw the ball to.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of teams, they're lucky if they have 2.
True. They can run a route, get open, and catch it.
And this is a truly special team.
2nd and 1. Lewis to the end zone. Perfect position by Ulm, and Manahan became the defender to prevent the interception. Little fade route to Manahan. He's been hot, but
didn't get it up high. Didn't get it up in the air high enough.
Yeah, a little underthrown.
But, well, it looks like Littlestown season's come to an end. They're down 36-7 late in the fourth quarter to Trinity. They gave it a run, though. I had heard they got it to 17-7, but weren't able to get any closer.
I saw Trinity earlier in the year against Delone, and pretty solid team.
Yeah, they gave up 13 that night. They haven't given up that many the rest of the season. Like, haven't given up more than 1 touchdown in any game since then.
Brian Irvin premature. And that'll cost the Warriors 5. Illegal procedure. So it's going to be 3rd and about 5.5. We're Adams Community Television. Special thanks to Paul Plank, our camera ace, and riding shotgun, my good friend Tom Sixes. Always a pleasure to have you aboard, my friend.
Oh, it's nice to be here.
3rd and 6. Play action. Lewis has time. He's got a man. Cody Trail. What a nice throw and catch. Soft hands. A ball with a lot of touch on it, and it looks like the Warriors have a first down at the 25, and they do.
Yeah, and that's just going to allow them to eat more clock.
The Warriors seem to have as good a balance of the run and pass as any team in the area. Obviously, this year they do.
Absolutely.
You talk about some of the other teams. Littlestown, they can throw the ball, but they have trouble getting ground or yardage on the ground against these bigger teams.
Yeah.
And Delone
can run it. They don't throw it too well.
Although Noah Landy's been a bit of a revelation this year for the Squires, being very accurate. But you're right. They typically throw it 10 times or less.
Yeah. Biglerville threw it a decent amount this year. In fact, I think they led the area in pass attempts this year.
And not a bad run game either. Their problem is on defense, where they can't stop the run.
They had trouble stopping the other team.
But congratulations to Coach Tim Hibbs, the Cannon's winning season,
Winning
6-4. So he has them headed in the right direction. First and 10 for Evan Lewis and the Warriors. 31-13 here, fourth quarter. Short drop. Lewis. What a great catch by Justin Jones. We talked about his soft hands, and that ball was just a perfect trajectory by Evan Lewis. Laid it in there between the safety and the corner, and Justin Jones gives the Warriors a first and goal.
Yeah, right on the money. Jones just reaches up, hauls it in, down to the 4-yard line. Lewis up to 245 yards on the game, 13 out of 20.
In a near monsoon, although nothing will ever be as bad as that 97 game, Redland, Gettysburg,
Absolutely.
triple overtime, 3-0.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was one raw night.
Yeah.
Jones is in the slot. Now he goes in motion. Lewis has a man wide open. Just Michael planted himself in the open spaces and waited for Lewis to find a passing lane, which he did. 4-yard touchdown reception by Zach Michael, and it's a Warrior kind of night.
Yep, 37-13 here in Gettysburg. Lewis, 14 of 21, 249 yards, 3 touchdowns and an interception.
Shouldn't hurt the quarterback rating too much.
2,100 yards on the season, right at 2,100, 24 touchdowns, 5 interceptions.
And he's going to be able to add to that next week.
Yep, and the thing is, you look at some of these games where he didn't play at all in the second half. I mean, you can't risk him getting hurt, but could you imagine the numbers that he would have if he would have been able to, man.
Yeah.
But it's smart not playing him, though. I mean, you can't afford to get him hurt. So.
Well, sure. And you got to get some reps for your underclassmen because
Absolutely.
Evan Lewis will not be here next year.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the point is good. 38-13. Warriors. The sand running out of the hourglass for the Vikings. Just 3:50 left in their season, and they'll fall to 7-4. Warriors to 10-1, no doubt, will help their statewide ranking. But you know what? Like you said, their goal has never been to be state ranked. It's been to be a district champion. So they just got to keep their focus on the football field, where we hope to be next week at ACTV. We will be right here with the Warriors. And fortunately, we have a string of loyal and dedicated sponsors making this all possible.
I mean, the Warriors, they've had goals all season. They wanted to win their league. They were able to get a split of that because of the slip-up with Hershey. They want to win the district. They want to win the state. That's what they want to do this year.
Yeah. Well, wouldn't that be something?
That would be. That would be absolutely amazing.
It's a great electric run, and we hope to be a part of it here at ACTV. And if you'd like to get a copy, give us a call, 334-3000, DVD, VHS copies available.
Yep, the farthest anybody from our coverage area has gone is to the Eastern Finals.
Littlestown a couple years ago.
Littlestown made the Eastern Finals.
Lost to Lansdale Catholic. I was there.
So, I mean, that's the farthest we've ever had a team go. So it'd be nice to see somebody go that far or even make it to the state championship game.
First and 10 Vikings.
If the Warriors are able to win the district, they would be in the Eastern Finals because the District 3 champion gets an automatic berth in the Eastern Finals.
So then it would only be 2 more games to the state championship game.
Yeah, if they were able to win the Eastern Final, then they'd be in the state championship
So
game.
it'd be a 16-game season.
Yeah.
That's the long haul. That's what the pros play.
That's a lot of games.
Yeah, and you're ending up in December. Where is it? Hershey?
December 14th would be the last game. That's the day of that's the night of the state title game.
Are they Hershey or Altoona?
Hershey.
So you got the artificial surface. Dresch spun down after a couple. So why don't you go out there and say thank you to our sponsors as well, all you good loyal viewers out there. Say a special thank you to Jeff Schaefer of Remax, C.E. Williams & Sons, Kenny's Market, Cold Smith Roofing and Home Improvements, State Farm Agent Lake Ball, and Crowdhamel Construction. Tell them how much you appreciate being able to see the game of the week here on ACTV. Vikings trying to make it close. Big hole for Jason Nolan and finally wrestled down, but he's a big fella. You can see why he's had a pretty successful season.
Yeah, he's up to 71 yards tonight on 10 carries. He's having a good night tonight.
Not a bad average. But yeah, you're right. That's going to be something that Coach Leedy can talk about. We were not great against the run, and I mean, a team we knew that's what they were going to do, and they were still able to do it. So yeah, it's got to be a mild concern.
Yeah, Coach Leedy will definitely have something to say about that. You can rest assured of that.
Yeah, you don't want to tell this team how great they are.
No, absolutely not.
I'm sure the coaches worked very hard at that all week, just trying to keep them humble and hardworking and hungry and harmonious and hustling.
Got any more H's on that?
I think that'll do it. Matt Nolan with about a 4-yard gain. Nolan's not a bad runner of the veer, and he's what, a junior? So
yeah, I like this veer. I like the veer offense. The only thing you need to, you got to be able to throw the ball some in this offense. You can't just run it all the time.
Right. I mean, these wideouts, you got to use them somehow.
Yeah.
2nd and 6. They keep it on the ground. Dresch to the outside, gets to the edge and beyond, and moves the chains again. So Vikings not going to go quietly into the night. Lots of their viewers, their fans still here, although some have probably made their way to a warmer, drier environment.
Yeah. It's a long drive up there. I mean, that's in Fredericksburg, northern Lebanon is. That's a hike.
So you go by there on 78, I guess,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, that's a good little hike up there. It's about 70 miles, takes a little over an hour to get there. I used to go past there when I was going to school at Kutztown. I used to drive past there all the time.
Hey, Kutztown has a very good rugby team, I understand. 1st and 10. 38-13 Warriors. Oh, a little mix-up in the backfield. Nolan runs into his own man again. He keeps bumping into his brother. Must be like the old days, fighting over space in the bathroom. And
Holtz?
Holtz is able to plug things. 2nd and 12. That was a busted play from the get-go.
Yeah. And it looks like the Warriors are going to play West York. West York just victorious over Solanco 23-7. So
who do you like in that game? West York 10-1, the Warriors 10-1, and I guess it'll come down to Mid-Penn versus York 3 or York 2, right?
yeah. And 2 years ago, that was Gettysburg's game. Well, in the first round, they played Susquehannock. They were undefeated out of that division. Gettysburg went down to Susquehannock and handled them rather easily.
Of course, that's Tom Warrenovich's team.
Of course.
Former Canner coach.
Yeah. But West
You
York.
get to keep in touch with him
Yeah.
a little bit. Are they in your coverage area?
No. It's kind of weird because they're actually closer to us than Fairfield is to where we are. So it's kind of weird that we don't cover them. But no, Coach Warrenovich is a great guy. I've known him for a few years. He's a great guy.
Another wing T guy.
Yep.
You know, those coaches, maybe it started with Tubby Raymond at Delaware. Once you get that wing T in your head, you can't seem to get it out of there.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go with the Warriors next week. I haven't came up with a score yet, but
we don't have to. I mean, I haven't seen West York this year. They beat New Oxford and Littlestown from our area.
Yeah, West York has speed. They have, and that's their biggest thing. But they don't have a lot of size. Gettysburg, of course, has a decent amount of speed, has a lot of size.
Logan Schultz puts the finishing touches on Matt Nolan, who tried to run the option. I wouldn't want to get hit by Logan Schultz.
No,
he's getting some looks.
Logan's a big kid. Yeah, he's got I believe he's down to 3 schools now. He was telling me last time I talked to him. I forget what school he said. I think it was West Virginia, Pitt, and Clemson, I believe, were his 3 that he was telling me about.
Well, all D1 schools.
Yep, absolutely.
Let's see. Logan Schultz, 6'3", 270.
I think that's a little deceiving. I actually think he's a little bit bigger than that.
Yeah.
I think he's probably.
So he's got the size.
Yeah, I think he's about 6'4". I'm not sure about how much he weighs, but I think he's about 6'4". He's a big kid.
No, we're late in the 4th quarter. Warriors ahead 38-13. It's all just a matter of the final score here. Vikings trying to get on the board a final time on 4th down.
Yeah.
And it could be kneel down time if they don't convert it here.
Yeah, it probably will be.
Nolan, incomplete, intended for Pfeiffer. And the Warriors will be able to run out the clock and seal a 38-13 win. So, we are going to have football in Warrior Stadium next week against West York. Special thanks to our sponsors, Jeff Schaefer of Remax, C.E. Williams & Sons, Kenny's Market, Cold Smith Roofing and Home Improvements, State Farm Agent Mike Ball, and Krauthamel Construction.
I know, I've been tied up, thank you. I've been tied up. I didn't see anything.
So, keys to the contest, the Warriors win the toss, they defer, they shut down the Vikings, and able to execute through the airwaves, and that'll do it. Parting thoughts, Wise One.
Well, it was a good win by the Warriors. I mean, they came out, they got a stop on first drive, got the ball, went down, scored immediately, and they just got Northern Lebanon behind. And when you're behind and you're a running team, it's hard to come back.
They took care of business here tonight. Our final, the Warriors 38, Northern Lebanon 13. Tune in next week for round 2 of the district playoffs here on ACTV. For Paul Plank and Tom Sixtus, I'm Jeff Cook. Good night, everybody.